Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Parami app. Download it now.
Stomach while being escorted by cops. Bazarek was wearing a green headband typically worn by Hamas terrorists. 8 months later, Bazarek is accused of assaulting another Jewish student during a demonstration at a university. About a month later, he's accused of assaulting another one. Bazarek faces 3 counts of committing hate crimes. Chris DeMeo, Fox News.
Another loss in court for the Trump administration on strings attached to federal grants for mass transit and homelessness.
U.S. District Judge Barbara Rothstein's order puts a 14-day block on plans by President Trump to impose conditions on the grants, which are worth hundreds of millions of dollars. The money is intended to address mass transit in the Seattle area and homelessness services in Boston, New York, San Francisco, and other local governments. According to the lawsuit filed last week by 8 cities and counties, the new conditions are designed to further the president's efforts to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion, pressure local officials into helping with the administration's mass deportation push, and cut off information about lawful abortions. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
On Wall Street, stocks could rise. Dow futures up more than 300 points. In the NBA playoffs, the New York Knicks rallied from down 20 again to beat the defending champion Celtics in Boston 91-90. The Knicks lead that series 2 games to none. Out west, Oklahoma City got even, taking game 2 with Denver 149-106. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
News Talk 710 KURV, broadcasting from the Valley's All-American Truck Headquarters studio at PayneAutomall.com.
It is May 8th, 2025. You're in tune with the Valley's Morning News, News Radio 4 South Texas. Also doing the X Live, YouTube Live, Facebook Live, 710 KURV, especially 7 o'clock hour. With show producer Fred Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. And, man, he wrote up an impressive AccuWeather forecast. I still think he got the wrong market, Fred. What is this? Flash flooding, damaging winds, possible hail, even a tornado warning later today? Really? Yeah, we'll talk about that in about 3 minutes. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thanks for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. We start in Edinburgh schools, where Edinburgh CISD, a student is facing federal charges after being caught with a gun on campus. An 18-year-old, Kinsey Lita, arrested at Edinburgh North High School on Tuesday. Investigators say that an unloaded firearm and a magazine with 10 rounds were found in Lita's backpack following an anonymous tip. Lita will make a first court appearance, expected to be later today. After major markets in Texas, the big school districts, Houston, San Antonio, and other big ones, made D's and a few F's when it came to the report card recently. Texas business leaders are now backing big changes to Texas public education.
An A through F report card ranking public school districts in Texas has been released after years of delay. Glenn Hammer with the Texas Association of Business says, if we're going to spend $85 billion on public ed, then there needs to be accountability.
It's very important for employers in the state of Texas to know how these schools are performing.
They're part of a letter signed by other business leaders calling on lawmakers to support robust rankings going forward. They say it should not include extracurricular activities. It should focus on academics.
Governor Greg Abbott, meantime, continues to turn up the heat on Texas House members and lawmakers, which folks there have yet to take up the issue of that is the emergency item, the only emergency item for the governor, and that would be bail reform.
It's bail reform, and Governor Abbott wants bail to be denied to repeat offenders charged with a violent crime.
We have to pass a constitutional amendment to fix it. That requires 2/3 of the members of both the Texas House and Texas Senate to get it done.
The Senate passed it with bipartisan support 29-1. But the House is a different animal, and it's where similar legislation has failed over the past 2 sessions.
There is progress. But not sufficient progress.
House Democrats have argued it denies the right of due process and is biased against minorities. If it doesn't pass, Abbott's expected to call a special session to make sure it does. In Austin, Chris Fox, News Talk 710 KURV.
It's a safe bet that legalized sports gambling is going to fail again in the Texas legislature. There's a new polling data that came out from a group called Texas Politics Project, and they say that a majority of Republicans oppose legalizing online betting. Democrats are ambivalent on the issue. Also, pollsters at Texas Politics Project found similar numbers when it came to legalizing casino gambling in Texas. And this coming Sunday is Mother's Day. It's not too late to get something that mom might like. A group called Uncommon Goods took a look at some of the most common Mother's Day gifts across the country. They said that in about a dozen states, flowers will do it. A floral bouquet was the most popular gift for mom. And in other states up northeast, especially up northeast, it was wine. Some what do they call those trays? Charcuterie trays, something like that, and some wine would do it. And jewelry came in third place. If you're out west, mom wants jewelry, a ring, necklace, or something like that. What does Mama want for Mother's Day, Freddie? Because you got two mamas. You got your mom, right, and then you got your wife. Yeah, which in the past you've said you don't need to buy anything because it's your wife. Well, that's the mother of your children. You need to buy something. Oh, okay. So what's on the? Oh, that's so sweet. The problem is I don't have time. Yeah. You're an awful son. It's like you with it. No, he's not. He's not. He actually. I know this because his mom spends a lot of time with Fred during the week. There's one day in particular, either Wednesday or Thursday, she'll take Fred out to lunch.
Yes.
And takes me with him. I usually tag along because, hey, it's free steak. You know, she pays for the whole thing.
Jeff didn't hear what I said. I said what mom wants is time. She wants to spend time with the kids. That's all she wants.
Yeah. That's all my mom wants, too.
Well, you got a lot. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine, he broadcasts for AccuWeather from mom's house, literally in the basement, somewhere in Minnesota. So, man, he's spending a lot of time.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, let me say thank you to Dougie and all the crew over at Martin Farm and Ranch, a certified dealer for Purina feed. It is the best, and Martin Farm and Ranch, certified dealer. Okay, so I was telling Freddie, I'm reading the forecast, listening to what you said. But check this out, people, in case you're just joining. So the AccuWeather forecast for today: showers and heavy thunder showers possible, especially late. And these storms might bring, I put the word might in there, might bring flash flooding, damaging winds, maybe some hail, maybe even a tornado, and I'll add the word warning, maybe a tornado warning. So lots of cloud cover expected today, temperature mid-80s.
Well, actually, cloud cover wise, it's let me get to the zoom out picture here. I was zoomed in on the northeast. Cloud cover right now is only a little bit. There really isn't a lot, but it is going to increase as we go throughout the afternoon. And we have South Texas in a 2 out of 4, which is a moderate risk for severe weather, including, again, you listed the flooding downpours, some hail, isolated tornadoes is what we use the term. Damaging winds at 60 to 70 miles per hour. So
slow down now, Bucky. That's we're getting a little too aggressive on that forecast. We're good. Freddie and I are good if we blow that forecast. It's okay. We're good. This is
I kind of wish I could, but all the models and the one that runs every hour continuously putting out the opportunity. So what's going to happen is within the next few hours, we're going to start to see development east over Brownsville first. Then the cool front that is currently a stationary front will start to develop a massive line across all of South Texas. So from Laredo all the way to the Falcon Lake Reservoir through Brownsville, going to have these showers and storms. They do look discrete on the future radar, meaning they're not in a line. So when they're discrete, hail is a big concern, and the tornadic threat is a concern.
Freddie wants to know what time you're expecting all this to take place, because he needs to take a nap before he wakes up and starts putting the radar images.
Development has been trending to start anytime between now and 10. That's when the clouds will start to go up. And then the main event, the strongest storms around, let's say, 1 to 3 p.m.
My goodness. All right. again, as I said, we're good if you blow the forecast, and none of that happens. That's good, but
I know you're good if none of it happens, but it's looking likely. So just make sure you have a plan.
Is this the only place with any exciting weather, or is San Antonio, Central Texas, are they getting some, or Houston?
It's mainly the southern part of Texas, includes Corpus Christi. San Antonio, not so much.
All right, pal. You've been warned by AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. Very exciting weather might pop up sometime this morning, noontime, and and you mentioned that even late today, right? Especially late.
This evening, actually, more or less. Late is just a passing shower.
Tonight, couple of showers, heavy thunderstorm possible in the evening. Okay. That is your very interesting AccuWeather forecast. And I'm after the broadcast, I'm headed down to where do you prefer the coconut cream pie from, Freddie? Is that Luby's? I need to wait.
Yeah, Luby's has good coconut cream.
Yeah,
pie.
Freddie's gonna need some comfort food today because he's getting all. I see his eye twitching already. He's getting all nervous about all the thunderstorms. So that's his favorite, coconut cream pie, and he's gonna wash it down with some Coca-Cola. It's Coke Day today as well. That's a lot of sugar about there. You're gonna be bouncing
a lot of sugar.
My goodness. Thank you, Jeffy. We'll call you next hour. AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. You watch next hour, Jeffy. Freddie, you watch next hour. It's 7 during the 7 o'clock report. It's one thing, and then they update the numbers at 8 o'clock. Oh, by the way, everything I told you last hour, don't worry, forget it. Right? I'm expecting that next hour. Let's see. The time is 7:14 on the Valley's Morning News, and a quick mention. Let's go back to the border, the Texas border with Mexico. In line for some major upgrades.
On Capitol Hill, lawmakers are giving the head of Homeland Security their wish list. South Texas Congressman Henry Cuellar says the Biden administration ignored problems with the Border Patrol system of security cameras.
In my area, only 1/3 of the cameras are working.
The Trump administration, though, is more focused on a border wall. A big spending bill includes cash for 700 additional miles. The cost, about $46 billion.
This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. Yes, border security, just one of several topics that we brought up in our conversation yesterday. Going to share with you a conversation I had with one of our Congress people, our Congresswoman from the Mid-Valley, Monica de la Cruz. Water, border security, other major issues. That's next on the Valley's Morning News.
Give your liver the support it needs with Active Liver. Go to NordicuSA.com, Amazon, or ask for Active Liver at your local CVS. New you, new Nordic.
Pain management specialist Dr. Dennis Slavin on patients who've had back surgery but are still in pain.
Many patients I see who have undergone back surgery complain that the ugly pain radiating down their thigh and leg is still present. What's worse, they're told there's nothing else that can be done and are stuck to a life of limited physical activity and reliance on pain medication. I have a treatment specific for this radiating discomfort called neuropathic pain. This treatment has been around since the 1960s, but with recent computer modeling technique, delivery of precise electrical signals can replace that pain with a massaging sensation that translates to less pain, less reliance on pain meds, and return to an active life. This technology is cutting edge and lives in a comfortable room at my office. Patients are amazed by the pain relief. They wonder why they waited so long to be feeling better at last.
Learn more about feeling better at last by signing on to feelingbetteratLast.com or call Dr. Slavin 973-0565.
This is Michael Berry, host of The Michael Berry Show, weeknights starting at 6. Thank you, Rio Grande Valley, for listening to News Talk 710 KURV.
Astros baseball on 710 KURV, weeknights, weekends. Next game would be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Astros, they're on the road against the Reds. Big thank you to Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women. Big thanks as well to the Mission Economic Development Office for Astros baseball on KURV. Got some key words I'd like to visit with our Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz, District 15, Texas. I got, let's see, border, big, beautiful, babies. I can't find a B word for water, so we'll just start with water. Congratulations, Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz. You had a powwow a few days back with a bunch of local leaders and folks in agriculture celebrating, well, the promised release by Mexico City when it comes to all this water that is owed. I'll believe it when I see it. But let's go back to that powwow, the agreement. And what do you know as far as final details? I want some teeth in this thing. They balk. They trip a wire. I want some consequences. So what's going on, Congresswoman?
Well, the lack of compliance by the Mexican government has been going on for 80 years, and no representative, no U.S. representative in Washington, D.C. had ever done anything. The previous administration would not do anything. Thankfully, I was elected, and it was a promise that I made to our local communities and to our farmers and ranchers that we were going to get them the water due to them, and we're going to put teeth on it. So the details of this agreement here is that Mexico will give us a 420,000 acre feet of water between now and October. And look, Sergio, we're not dealing with the Biden pushover administration. We're dealing with a president who is bold, courageous, and strong, and is no nonsense. He will not put up with BS. It has already stated that should they not comply and give us the 420,000 acre feet of water within the next 5 months, that there will be sanctions and tariffs put on Mexico until they comply with this agreement.
Okay.
Not only that, but I'm also putting in legislation, we're submitting legislation that would ask Congress to put sanctions on the Mexican government if they do not comply with this agreement.
Okay. Does this agreement also allow, let's say, for example, this coming tropical season, let's say we get a repeat of last season for us where we really didn't get anything, but hey, look at that. Mexico got a lot of tropical rain. Some rain that came over from the Pacific, and they got stuff from the Atlantic, came in from the Gulf, and they had a lot of water. Boy, they had enough water last year to pay back what they owed. Had they just released everything to Amistad and released the Falcon, are there provisions, are there teeth in this new agreement? If they get that tropical rain, they fill up their interior dams to release that immediately and send it to us, or else. What do you know about that possibility?
As I mentioned, we're dealing with a different White House. This is not sleepy Joe Biden, who would not do anything and was more concerned about taking a nap during the day than actually putting pressure on the Mexican government to give us the water due to us. President Trump has already said that he will put sanctions and tariffs on the Mexican government should they not give us the water due to us before the next 5 months. And President Trump, what we've learned is he is no nonsense. Okay. He's going to do what he says, and I believe him.
USMCA, the talks related to all the so-called free trade, the water issue will be right in the middle of it too, right? I think you told me last time that we talked that the water issue, right?
Yes, that's what we're working on right now, is getting that into the USMCA. The 1944 Water Treaty is a standalone treaty. Currently, it is not in the USMCA, but I'm going to change that. I'm currently working with Trade and Commerce, the White House, and the Secretary of State to get that into the USMCA. It is a long process. It's a challenging process, but we're going to do it because we want to make sure that there are permanent teeth to the 1944 Water Treaty and that Mexico will be held accountable if they withhold this water. Okay. It is unacceptable for our farmers and ranchers. But look, at the end of the day, Sergio, tonight, when all the people who are listening to the radio right now are sitting down at their dinner and they're drinking a glass of water, that is the water that we're talking about. It's not just about our farmers and ranchers. It's about the everyday South Texan that is filling up their glass of water to drink this afternoon, brushing their teeth, turning on the water to take a shower tonight. That's the water that we are talking about, and that's the water that I'm fighting for.
Our District 15 Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz. Border issues, Congresswoman. First of all, refund to Texas, potential refund to Texas for the $8+ billion spent on border security. during the Biden administration. Kristi Noem chimed in on this and was very complimentary for Texas efforts during the Biden administration. We got Governor Abbott making a little bit of noise on this. Have you heard anything in the halls of Congress, maybe legislation being introduced to refund Texas $8 billion plus for border security spending by the state the past several years?
So the Texas delegation came together and we actually wrote a letter stating that we wanted the state of Texas to be reimbursed for the failure of the Biden administration and the federal government through the Biden administration. Because of Biden's failure on the border, Texas had to step up and defend not only our border, but really the entry into America. It's unacceptable that Texans had to foot this bill. And so, as I said, the Texas delegation is asking for reimbursement. We're certainly working on that, and we'll continue to work on it. We're going to help the forgotten men and women of Texas that defended this country during the Biden administration.
On border security issues, spending, equipment, hiring, anything that's being written up that you see that's interesting right now when it comes to border security, I don't know, might be put into the whole.
Yes, actually last week through the markup process in Homeland Security actually increased millions of dollars that would go towards Border Patrol agents when it comes to retention, salary increases, and much more. Our agents were left behind under the Biden administration. They were ignored. They went and suffered through a horrible 4 years. But we're changing that under this administration in Homeland Security, and the House has already approved through the markup process, increasing salary wages, increasing retention, increasing agents, and protecting those in need that are defending our country.
If I could put the truck in reverse just a little bit and go back to the whole farming issue, there was an allocation of funds, several billions of dollars set aside for Texas farmers, for South Texas farmers they can tap into. I guess they're already able to apply for some of that. If you want to recap that real quick, some very specific relief because of the Mexican water debt issue and the drought.
Sergio, that's one of the things that I am most proud of. In the continuing resolution last year, it was allocated $10 billion that went to catastrophes that happened all across America, from the hurricanes in the Carolinas to wildfires in California, all the way down to South Texas. My team and I worked extremely hard, and we were the only district in the entire United States that got a carve out of $280 million that went specifically to our Texas farmers who were affected by the Mexican government not giving us the water that was due to them in this treaty. The only one, $280 million. That amount of money is unheard of to be basically earmarked to a specific area. I'm so proud to have worked so hard to accomplish that for the first time ever. Word that our farmers and ranchers allotted that amount of money. Now, that being said, it does not bring back the sugarcane industry, which was a devastation to South Texas, lost jobs, millions of dollars in lost economy, plus a whole industry that is gone. But we're able to help our citrus, our onion, our watermelon, and so many more that are affected, and their farms will be saved, and they'll be able to continue farming for Americans because of this dollar allocation.
Our Congresswoman for District 15, Texas, or Valley Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz, and your crew gave me a heads up on something else that you're working on. Babies, healthy babies. What is that Healthy Babies Act that you're looking at?
Yes, well, I'm really proud that we will reintroduce the Healthy Babies Act. And the reason why this was really important to me is because in my district, which you live in, you know this, 25% of our children are food insecure. That means we have babies that are going to sleep hungry, that are waking up hungry and going to school hungry. And so it's critical that we get our families in South Texas the nutrition that they need, nutrition programs that they need in order to feed our beautiful kids in South Texas. I'm a mother of 2 children, and so this is personal to me. I wanted to make sure that every mom felt supported and that no child in South Texas goes to bed hungry. So what this act is going to do is it's going to put more nutritious food options available, that they make them available to our moms and their babies, those babies and moms that rely on WIC. And so, again, making sure that our kids don't go to sleep hungry.
Congresswoman, before I let you go, I want to say also thanks for watching our back when it comes to energy issues. I know a few months back you had a conversation with Chris Wright, the chief over at Energy. Yeah, liquefied natural gas is part of the national discussion. And thank God that the folks here that were in court, they were dragged to court by these leftist environmental wackos, that they cleared in appellate court a few weeks back. They're clear. Next decade is clear to proceed safely with all their permits and their massive project at the Port of Brownsville, and with Elon Musk nearby and all the chemicals he's going to be using for rocket technology. It's amazing to see all the economic activity that is literally flooding this way. And anyway, thanks for the advocacy when it comes to energy issues, protecting LNG, and of course, looking at all the other ancillary industries that are blooming in South Texas because of aerospace and high tech that's quickly on the way. Continued success, Congresswoman, and look forward to our next conversation.
Thank you.
Congresswoman Monica de la Cruz, District 15, Texas. And this check of news on 710 KURV is a service of Edinburgh CISD along with UTRGV, their collegiate high school, enrolling freshmen in sophomore classes. For information, call 956-289-2300. 5 individuals believed to be involved in human smuggling in custody. This note from Central Texas, from San Antonio. One of the suspects accused of running a stash house up there. 2 are illegal aliens. 1 a suspected member of Tren de Aragua, the criminal gang, and authorities are still looking for another individual from Tren de Aragua. And the Texas Wildlife Refuge is being renamed for a young girl killed by illegal immigrants. This week, both Texas senators introduced the Jocelyn Nungareet National Wildlife Refuge Act to rename the Anahuac National Wildlife Refuge near Houston for the 12-year-old murder victim. And this weekend, heads up, this weekend is the National Association of Letter Carriers holding their Stamp Out Hunger food drive. This is the weekend where you put some cans of food, some dry goods boxes near your mailbox, right? And the letter carrier will take that over to the food bank. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV on your station for Astros baseball. Check up sports up next. As an information-minded individual, you're an information news, especially when it comes to business news nerd. Appreciate you listening to KURV. You listen long enough to this radio station, the only news talk station, news radio for South Texas. You know, man, I'm a big nerd. I'm a big fan of all this economic development news because we have so much to talk about here in South Texas. Blessed times, prosperous times we have never seen before in the RGV. And the driver, the big machine, the motor that's driving all this is our port, the Rio Grande Valley Port of Brownsville. A couple of days back, I had this put together this monologue with just a bunch of little snippets and headlines from their newsletter. My friend Georgie over at the Port of Brownsville does a great job putting all these great stories in. It's like more and more every month we keep getting better news, bigger projects. Thousands of jobs created already. Thousands more on the way, thanks to rapidly expanding steel manufacturing operations at the port. We got big fruit processors that are setting up shop. We got an industrial park that's receiving more tenants, and of course, liquefied natural gas. I didn't even mention nearby across the water, all Elon Musk, our neighbor, with the thousands of jobs that he has created. Stay in the know of what's taking place in the Rio Grande Valley economy. It all starts at the Port of Brownsville. Go to the website, portofbrownsville.com, and sign up for the free newsletter.
Stop by Hess Fitness Products at 3501 North 10th Street in McAllen, where you can touch and feel the difference of fitness equipment that's designed to move with a human body. Equipment you'll look forward to using in your next workout. For over 44 years, Hess has handpicked the best manufacturer with the best warranties in the industry. They've got experienced fitness consultants. Edgar Santana, store manager, and his team can help you select the right equipment for your body type and your goals. Hess Fitness Products. Go to HessFitness.com. Look better, feel better, do more.
You know Martin Farm and Ranch is the Valley's premier Purina feed dealer.
We're so much more than a feed store. Come on in.
Stay Tough Superior Fence Products.
Yeah, we got it.
Electric fencing, parts and supplies.
Yep, we got that too. Show feed and supplements. We got them. Deer feeders and blinds. We got them.
Live animals and pet supplies.
Got a hungry dog? We can help you. Martin Farm and Ranch Supply. So much more than a feed store. Just look for the horse.
Michael Berry, host of the Michael Berry Show, inviting you to join Sergio Sanchez, my buddy, for the Sergio Show. Weekday mornings starting at 9 on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Parami app.
This is Kevin Walker with your Texas in the Morning Report.
Duchesne, nice job. Sends it across. Ranton in front. Score! Ranton in again! It's a hat trick in Winnipeg. Hintz was right in front, but it's Rantanen who remains scorching hot. That man is out of his mind.
Out of his mind indeed, as the Dallas Stars defeated the Winnipeg Jets in Game 1 of the second round in the NHL playoffs. For Dallas, it's their first time winning a Game 1 since 2020. Game 2 is set for tomorrow at 8:30 with Jason Robertson back. All eyes on Rio's return. Switching to the diamond, the Houston Astros salvaged the series on the road against the Milwaukee Brewers with a 9-1 win. Despite losing 5 of their last 10, Houston has climbed themselves into contention with the AL West at third place, one behind the A's at second. Day off today before hosting the Reds at home beginning tomorrow night. First pitch is set for 7:10. The Texas Rangers fell to the Boston Red Sox in Game 2 of the 3-game set in Boston last night. 6-4 the final, the rubber match later today with first pitch set for 12:35 with Jack Leiter on the mound. With your Texas in the Morning Report, I'm Kevin Walker.
The Knicks did it again, came from 20 down to shock the Celtics 91-90, take a 2-0 series lead. Jalen Brunson hit a pair of free throws to give New York the lead. Then Mikal Bridges stole the ball from Jason Tatum to end the game in the West semis. Thunder set an NBA playoff record with 87 first-half points, crushed the Nuggets to even the series at 1. Maple Leafs skate past the Panthers for a 2-0 series lead. Utah Hockey Club will now be called the Utah Mammoth. Cowboys acquired Steelers wide receiver George Pickens. That's sports. I'm Ron Tomas.
AccuWeather says, check this out. I still can't believe it. And, man, I hope they really blow this forecast because it doesn't look good. Storms, thunderstorms, later in the day, like sometime soon, we might see a line of that. And then midday, a little after lunch, and then later in the day. The AccuWeather forecast, showers, heavy thunder showers somewhere in South Texas, especially late. Storms might bring, there's a possibility of hail, very strong, fast-moving winds, flash flooding, even a tornado warning. Don't be surprised. Highs will be mid-80s, says AccuWeather. Wow, that's a pretty ambitious forecast. Border Bridge wait times on 710 KURV is posted on KURV.com. You know what I forgot to do, Freddie? Check that radar, see if there's anything popping up west of us. Say 20 to 35 minutes at San Luis and at Far, and about 20 minutes at F&M Gateway, and less than that, much less than that, at the Veterans Bridge. Business news check of your money. That's next on 710 KURV, the Valley's Morning News. A dear friend, he has become a dear friend through all these years that I've been talking, saying really nice things about him. And he has helped me by delivering on all the nice things that I say about Dale Johnson. I've described him for years now as the top commercial roofing expert in this entire region. He and his awesome team, they have locked arms and joined forces and brought to you and your business and your homes new technology, an expanded menu of services, amazing warranties, and waterproofing solutions with new friends and partners. Again, they've locked arms and joined forces and are introducing Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. That is the name to remember for your commercial sites or your commercial buildings, warehouses, commercial strips, multi-level buildings, you name it. Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing. Dale trusts them. They conducted all these conversations for months and realized these folks at Chamberlain, they're his Twinkies, his twins when it comes to superior customer service, a commitment to doing the job right. And with Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing, a huge team with 125 plus years of experience, leading edge, all this avant-garde roof installation technology and waterproofing solutions. And as I mentioned, an expanded menu of new services and valued warranties. You need to call Chamberlain Roofing and Waterproofing for all your construction projects and a retrofit. Make sure your commercial roof is ready for tropical season. Make the phone call today, 956-566-6822. The website, chamberlainltd.com.
Your Houston Astros play here.
Left field. Good one. It's out of here.
Catch the action all season long on News Talk 710 KURV.
Deep to right field, and you can kiss it goodbye.
Don't miss the crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd. We'll bring you each weeknight and weekend game with pregame and postgame coverage and all the action in between. Powered by Dr. T's Primary Care for Men and Women, Mission Economic Development Corporation, and News Talk 710 KURV.
At Rivetta's Machinery in Donna, they're bringing the best deals on Coyote equipment to your job site, your farm, or your backyard. Right now, take advantage of 0% interest or up to $6,000 cash back on Coyote track loaders and skid steers. These are machines built for maximum performance no matter the task. But don't stop there. They're also offering fantastic savings on Coyote tractors, zero-turn mowers, and utility vehicles. And whether you're hauling something, mowing, tackling other big jobs, Coyote has the equipment to help you get it done. If you're looking for great deals and great service from a team that treats you like family, look no further than Rivetta's Machinery and Coyote. Start your next project right. Visit Rivetta's Machinery in Donna or browse their deals when it suits you at mynewtractor.com. That's their website, mynewtractor.com. Rivetta's for the long haul. See dealer for full details.
Audio streaming on KURV.com. Powered by South Texas Buick GMC, McAllen Mission.
I'm Nicole Murray with Your Money Now. Nintendo said it expects to sell 15 million units of its new Switch 2 console in the fiscal year ending March of 2026. It is the first forecast for sales from the Japanese gaming giant since it announced the successor to its successful Switch device. Shipping giant Maersk has reported preliminary underlying earnings of just over $2.7 billion for the first 3 months of the year. That's up 70% from the same period a year earlier and above the $2.6 billion expected by analysts in an LSEG poll. Maersk kept its 2025 profit guidance unchanged between $6 and $9 billion, but said global container market volume growth has been revised to -1% to 4%. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman wrote in a blog post that the company has named Fiji Simo, Instacart's CEO, as its head of applications. Simo joined OpenAI's board last year. Futures are sharply higher after Trump announces the UK-US trade deal. That's Your Money Now.
710 KURV exclusive AccuWeather with the forecast. Again, thanks to Dougie and all the gang at Martin Farm and Ranch. We got a few small cells of shower activity in Cameron County, Ranch Country as well. And in the forecast, AccuWeather is, man, they're committed. Showers, they say showers and heavy thunder showers, especially late today as well. So right now, a little bit of rain, a little more midday. And at one point, it might get real interesting. AccuWeather says, expect the possibility of flash flooding in a few areas. Don't be surprised if you see some hail in South Texas and very strong winds, damaging winds. Maybe even a tornado warning popping up. Highs today should be 85 with all this interesting weather. Your station for AccuWeather in South Texas. News Talk 710 KURV. We got Fox News coming up in 2 minutes. Join us at Radio Para Mi. Download the free app.
If you're looking to improve your overall health and have a better quality of life, Dr. T's Primary Care is the place to go. If you feel tired or stressed or less motivated, if you're moody or if you have trouble sleeping, Dr. T's Primary Care will evaluate you and work with you to address your health concerns, including testosterone or menopause treatment, peptide treatment, IV vitamin infusions. Their licensed staff will take the time to listen to you and work with you to improve your overall health. Check out the website, drtsprimarycare.com. Give them a call on the calendar at 956-803-0058 in Harlingen, 956-368-5247.
Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax. Are your property taxes too high? Well, you can kiss that money goodbye until you call cat tax. Oh yeah, we save money for you. Cat tax, cat tax. Call cat tax, cat tax. No savings, no fees. Call 631-SAVE. Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
If your property taxes are too high, you don't have to just kiss your money goodbye. Not with CAD Tax on your side. CAD Tax, they do all the work and you save all that money. If they don't win, you don't pay. No savings, no fee. There's nothing to lose. That's the CAD Tax guarantee. Call 631-SAVE.
No savings, no fee. That's a written guarantee. Cat tax, cat tax, cat tax, cat tax.
Hi there, my name is Tony Bolstead. My wife and I, Carol, own Sand Monsters. We'd like you to come on out and have fun. We've got a half-mile long track out here. It runs across about 3.5 acres. Have adult cars and kid cars, getting laps in, learning how to drive on the sand. And we also lease space to Redline Helicopters is one of our tenants here, and they've got a pad and they do helicopter tours. Lone Star National Bank and the team there really helped us get this thing put together, answered all our questions, huge help.
I am Stephanie Harrison. I am the second generation owner of Sisters Interiors on South Padre Island. We had always dreamed of owning our own land and owning our own building, using our design team to create what you see here today. That's how we got involved with Lone Star National Bank. We partnered with them and they helped us, create the dream.
Information on your town and your community.
The Valley's Morning News.
News Talk 710 KURV.
Appreciate you joining us on the radio, 710 AM. Better yet, why don't you discover Radio Para Mi? It's a free app and listen on your smart device. You're in tune with the morning news. It's News Radio for South Texas. Show producer Cruz, AccuWeather meteorologist Jeffrey Nordine. He's busy. He's busy looking on this thunder shower activity in the area. We have a very interesting forecast for today, so keep it tuned to KURV. We might need to go back to AccuWeather and the Weather Service that talked a few times today. I'm Sergio Sanchez. Thank you for joining us on the Valley's Morning News. News, a service of Jay Gonzalez Injury Attorneys, ready to fight for you. Call 1-800-CAR-CRASH.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. President Trump first teased, then confirmed the trade agreement with one of our greatest allies.
It is a great honor to have the United Kingdom as our first announcement. Many other deals, which are in serious stages of negotiation, to follow. The UK is in a bit of a unique position because it did not fall under the reciprocal tariffs, but is subject to a 25% levy on steel, aluminum, and cars, plus that global 10% tariff that does remain.
Fox's Alexandria Hoff at the White House ceremony, 10 a.m. Eastern, the Oval Office. Black smoke rising from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel.
That means that the Cardinals have voted twice this morning and no pope has been picked.
Fox's Alex Hogan in Vatican City. A cardinal must reach 2/3 of votes to become pope. As many as 2 more votes could happen today. America's listening to Fox News.
Weather is an interesting news item this morning. Already started the morning with some shower activity and thunder shower activity, mostly north of Harlingen, north of San Benito. We invite you to join KURV.com, look for the weather section, AccuWeather.com, and look for that Brownsville radar. We got heavy thunder shower activity, showers in the forecast, and AccuWeather says even the possibility of some interesting weather. Some very strong wind, Possibility of reports of hail, maybe even a tornado warning later midday or later in the day. An Edinburgh CISD student facing federal charges after being caught with a gun on campus, an 18-year-old arrested at Edinburgh North. Investigators say an unloaded firearm and magazine with 10 rounds of ammunition were found in the student's backpack. This is the Valley's Morning News on News Talk 710 KURV. We invite you to join us online, Radio Para Mí. Download the free app.
Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, board-certified, fellowship-trained, cardiothoracic surgeon, Dr. Victor Reese.
It's a pleasure to be at DHR Health, and it's a pleasure to be back in the Valley. I grew up in Brownsville, Texas. My dad, he was a primary practice physician in Brownsville for over 30 years. And it was always interesting running into my dad's patients in the community. They would stop me and say, "Hey, we love your dad. He helped save my loved one's life," the impact that my father had on his community. And I certainly wanted to be able to impact the community in a similar fashion. Ultimately, I chose to pursue a fellowship in cardiothoracic surgery. So a cardiothoracic surgery fellowship teaches you about the surgical treatment of disease in both the heart, the lung, and an area in the middle of the chest. You learn to do complex operations on the heart, replace heart valves, and even replace major parts of the arteries of the body. In addition, you also do thoracic surgery, and that involves removing tumors in the middle of the chest, lung cancers, esophageal cancer as well. I have an outpatient office. I see patients on a weekly basis. One thing that I learned in medical school is that you have a finite amount of time to interact with patients. However, in cardiothoracic surgery, we're a very low volume specialty, which means I have very few patients and I get to spend a lot of time with them. DHR is a wonderful health system. I was very impressed when I interviewed here. I find that they spend a lot of time listening to the physicians, listening to our needs, and they're constantly trying to push the envelope in terms of providing cutting-edge care for the patients here in the Valley.
From the DHR Health Heart Institute, board-certified, fellowship-trained, cardiothoracic surgeon, Dr. Victor Reese, DHR Health.
This has been Spotlight on Your Health, brought to you by DHR Health. For you, for life.
Nothing beats those three favorite sounds of any outdoor cook. That perfect blend of rubs and spices, that oak wood and charcoal catching heat, and the sound of fresh meat hitting the grill. At South Texas Outdoor Kitchens, we know barbecue isn't just cooking, it's a way of life. Whether you're smoking a brisket low and slow, firing up some fajitas, or barbecuing the perfect rack of ribs, we've got the pits for you. From pellet grills like Traeger and Yoder smokers, Big Green Egg and Rectech, we are the premier barbecue supply headquarters in the RGV. Plus a huge selection of wood, pellets, charcoal, rubs, spices, and supplies to take your barbecue to the next level. Stoke on the expressway across from the Shrine in San Juan. South Texas Outdoor Kitchens, because nothing beats the sound of good food, good company, and a fire that's always burning.
Listen to Sergio Sanchez every morning on News Talk 710 KURV and on the Radio Para Mí app. Stay informed with exclusive interviews from top local and state leaders, plus economic development news, business, and medical reports, and all the local news from the RGV. It's everything you need to know to start your day right. Sergio Sanchez and News Talk 710 KURV on the free Radio Para Mí app.